Oh,
Hello, and welcome to Tea with Lily. It's been a while, guys, and I'm your quirky host. The one that they call the quirky host that does everything quirky and she doesn't do anything normal because that's how she was made. My name is Lily Mensa, and I'm a brand strategist by day and a conversationalist by night. I like to talk. And I have something on my mind today because it's the Women's World Cup, and I'm a footy fan. A lot of people that know me, I'm a serious Arsenal fan, proper Arsenal head. And last week, I watched with dismay the collision between Michelle Alozie, the Nigerian footballer, with Lauren James. And something made me feel that this will not end well. But listen, guys, Michelle is a seasoned professional, and she quickly said to the rest of the team, the best way I could advise, she said, "I beg, rest. This is an international stage, and emotions run high." And then Lauren then responded and said she was actually sorry for what happened, and that gave me some comfort because you know what? Apparently, there lots of people watching, about 2 billion people watching the football, and the world is has around eight lots and lots of people watching. That's about a quarter of the world. I know for sure that if I had so many people watching me, I will fall apart. I will be a hot mess. So all I can say is give the girls a break, let them do what they're doing, and let's just stop fussing too much. So that's me getting off my high horse about the football. Now, you guys know that Tea with Lily is a space for informal discussions with a relaxed format where we chat about topical issues over a cup of tea. And guests from all walks of life come onto the magic sofa and give tips and tricks to professionals who want additional stuff for their personal and entrepreneurial journeys. Today, we're going to talk about photography, the value of brand photography, headshots, and more. And I've got a brand new virgin to live stuff, Ally. Ally, and hi, Ally. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm all right, thank you. Thanks, Lily.
Great. And we've got Sazz as well. Sazz, how are you doing and what are you drinking?
I'm well, Lily. How are you? How are you, Ally?
I'm good,
I'm
thanks,
drinking. You know what I drink, Lily? My tea is Earl Grey, and I'm not changing that.
Isn't that a bit posh?
Not
Earl
really,
Grey?
it's tea, isn't it? I mean, it's tea. It's just
I,
my preference.
I like my PG. I like my PG tips, or very basic. But if you guys know that I love my coffee. And Ali, what's your drink of choice?
I have to say, I'm a coffee drinker. I don't drink tea at all. Just straight up strong black coffee. That's, yeah. Although I have to say, because it's evening, I am on the water this evening because I do want to.
Cheers, Ally.
Cheers, I'm on the water as well. My big sister did say to me that we must stop having caffeine afternoon. So, but I'd like to know where people are watching from and how we can support you. So put your comments on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube as well, because it's going three ways, because we've got three gorgeous women. Well, okay, two gorgeous women out there. I'll take myself out of it. So put your comments in and we'll try as much as possible to answer them. And we also have some giveaways at the end, so please do stay to the end. And if you're watching on replay, do put your comments because we will not close the ballot for another 24 hours. So let's hear a bit about Ally. So I'm going to read this because I always get these things wrong. Ally is a seasoned photographer based in Croydon, South London. Any South London people out there? Yay! I love South London. And she's been working in the photography industry for 15 years. Her main areas of expertise, well, two main areas are, firstly, to create dynamic, high quality and creative headshots for all business professionals. from the sole trader up to the large international brands. Headshots that help you and your team to make a great first impression. Secondly, she specializes in branding photography, helping you tell your brand story, communicating who you are, what you do, and how you do it with creative imagery, enabling you to attract and connect with your ideal clients. And she doesn't just take photos. Her photography is all about helping you bring personality to your brand and create powerful imagery. So welcome to the Magic Sofa, Ally.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Miss Sazz, who is a seasoned person on the Magic Sofa, I'll tell you a little bit about Sazz. She's faced the greatest challenges of her life in her 50s, the loss of multiple family members consecutively, her best friend, and then her husband of over 30 years. Out of those ashes of those life-changing events, Second Spring, her organization was birthed. Sazz says, troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. According to a recent survey, midlife spans between 40 and 65 years, and I'm in the middle of that somewhere, but I'm not telling you how old I am. And in 2020, there were approximately 938,000 people aged 55 in the United Kingdom. That's a really, really odd number, but it's quite interesting that that's the largest number of people who are age age 55 in the whole of the UK. That's amazing. I didn't know that. Tea with Lily, I'm also here to learn. When Sazz wanted to create a platform where women at this stage of their life could have a safe place to go to without feeling shame and being judged. Simply, Sazz helps women of the golden age realize this time of life can be a positive experience. We are visible and age is an attitude. That's a hashtag. Now, we're going to now start the conversation around photography. And the three of us have all worked together. And in the last couple of months, we really come together to support each other and also to have this collaboration. And that was birthed out of the fact that there were we talked about a lot of women post lockdown who perhaps had their headshots, they didn't know how to come together and even approach a photographer what to do. And we've come together to help gorgeous women look even more gorgeous in the digital age. So I'm going to start with Ally, because you will have the big thing pointing at people. So, and the first thing that always comes through is the nerves. So Ally, being nervous about being on the camera and how to deal with, to talk to us about what we can do to overcome that shyness in front of the camera.
I think the first thing to say is that actually you're not alone, and probably about 99% of the people that I photograph, women and men, tell me that they don't like being in front of the camera, that they're nervous, they're worried about it. And I think a lot of that is to do with two things. People are worried about how they come across on camera, and they're also worried but because they don't know what's going to happen. It's like the whole big thing about being photographed. It's scary, it's daunting. And so part of it is knowing what to expect. Talk to your photographer, find out what the process is. Where are you going to be photographed? Pick a location that actually you feel comfortable in. So that's really key. Think about distractions and things like that. Make sure you've got no distractions around you that can make it even more nerve-wracking. And a lot of it's to do actually with your preparation and get your hair done, get your makeup done, make sure you look and feel your absolute best. Because actually, if you know that you look good, walking in front of that camera is a lot less daunting because you've instantly got that little bit of a confidence boost. And I think also from my point of view, for me, it's all about relationships. And so I do everything that I can do to actually make you feel at ease in front of my camera. So I will have a chat. I'll talk to you. I'll find out about you. I'll build a common ground so that actually when you're in front of my camera, I'm not a stranger. So that, I think that's a lot of information in just kind of like one quick answer. But yeah, with nerves and shyness, you're not alone. Almost everybody, myself included. How nervous am I about being live on LinkedIn? gets nervous when they have a camera pointed in their face.
Yeah. Ali, we can't hear you. I think that your mic is gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
I think I might have stopped talking.
I'm trying to straddle between the live LinkedIn and you as well. So, but I mean, in terms of being shy, what do you think? What do you think makes people get this sort of feel a bit scared, or they don't have the warmth? Because I remember, Ali, when you did when we did the photo shoot together, you went through several stages, and I just bounced on and you just went. But I think that's probably because I felt comfortable with you, and something about having that chemistry, isn't it, with the person who is behind the camera, and how they make you feel if you're in front of the camera. So I think chemistry is important.
Well, I often say that photography is all about connections and relationships, because actually there's two key relationships. There's the relationship between me and you being photographed, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get that connection between you and your client. So your client is going to look at the photo and they're building a connection with you, and I'm trying to build a connection with you in order to get that photo. And so it's almost like a three-way conversation in some ways.
Okay.
So I kind of like think it is all about relationships, connection, and conversation.
Okay.
And I think that's, there you go.
Connections, relationships, conversations, all get captured. Thanks, Ali. Now, Sazz.
Yes, Lily.
Ali touched on hair and makeup.
Yes.
And I know you always prepared. I think you were born glamorous. Your mom, you were born glamorous, because you always come with you're immaculate. What are some of the things that people can do to make sure that their hair is ready, their makeup is ready, and then Ali doesn't have to faff too much with them? Because I've seen you do that with me, and you've told me to just sit there and just do what I need to do.
Well, do you know what, Lily? Going back and reiterating on what Ali said, I don't think, like for me, when I'm going in front of a camera, it depends on location. It depends on what the actual event is for. You know, to taking headshots could be for various things. It could be to apply for work. It could be for acting. It could be for anything. So when it comes to my makeup, I basically keep it very simple. I just keep it very simple. I would speak to the photographer in regards to best colors to wear, in terms of how to do my hair. Do I do something that is less fussy, where it's not going to take the requirement of fixing it every 5 minutes? And but I tend to keep it very simple when it comes to my headshots.
Okay. Hi Janine. Hi. She's joining us from the United Kingdom on Facebook. Hi Janine Cummings, and we have Tim Ricky from Florida. Hi, Mr. Tim. He's joining us from LinkedIn. Hi, Mr. Tim. He's also actually a very, very good friend and a mentor, and a great somebody who's an authority on coaching world-class speakers. So talk to him if you ever want to be a world-class speaker. Hi, Tim.
Yeah, Lily. So on adding to that, I think it goes back to what Ali's saying. You have to feel comfortable. You've got to be comfortable with how you're presenting yourself. And I think, to me, that's the ingredient. That's what you should really aim for.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I think, Sazz, to add to that, again, I'm going based on my own most recent experience, where I do like to wear makeup and I do like to look nice. But on the day I had my makeup did, and it was so much, and I was all ready to go and wipe it all off. And literally, you guys had to sit me down and say to me, if you're having photos done, it needs to be strong in order that it doesn't get everywhere. I don't even know what that does. But Ali, you and Sazz were amazing, and you made me not go and wipe everything off. So thank you very much. But thank you. And in terms of your headshot and branding photos, Ali, what are the different ways that we can use those for?
I think they can be used for so many different things. I think that's one of the misconceptions. People think, oh, it's a headshot, it's just one photo, I've just got one use for it. But if we think everywhere, where do we use our headshots? We use them on LinkedIn, on our website, on our social media profiles, on WhatsApp. People put them on business cards, on brochures, on marketing materials, in magazines. If you've written an article, I've had someone put it in their book jackets. That's 9 things
already.
Yeah. And I think, and branding photography, there's even more uses for it, because branding is all about telling stories. And so therefore you can use it actually on the content pages of your website to illustrate what it is that you do. You can use it on the feed of your social media when you're writing posts. You've then got blogs that you're writing. You can use your photos in those blogs. I think I'm up to 15, 16. Ways. And so I think it's you need to look at it as it's an investment, because actually you're not getting just this one photo or 2 or 3 photos. You're getting a collection that can be used in many different ways. And
does that obviously means that in terms of your time investment, financial investment, it's one sitting that can be divided 15 different ways. So if you're sitting down for half an hour to an hour, you're slicing that time up, and you can use that time, say 5 minutes for one post, and you can literally spread it in terms of, because sometimes it's probably not because of it may not be financial. It's just people are time poor. So they think, I can afford it, but what about the time? About once you've your hairstyle, your makeup, the makeup artist, because now everybody has their makeup done. It's one of the luxuries that we have now. Apart from Sazz. Sazz doesn't like anybody touching her face. Sazz, she goes, I'll do my own. She does it very well. But it's about investment in your time. Once you've done the sitting, it can last you another 5 years, right?
Exactly that. And I think actually the investment in time is quite important as well, because actually if you are investing money into getting your headshot or your branding photos done, and you're investing your time in the shoot, it's not just the shoot. There's also the preparation beforehand that takes a little bit of time. And actually it's that preparation that's really key, because that's where we kind of we look at the brand, we look at who you are, we look at what you do, we look at who your clients are, we design your shoot so that we get the photos that you want and the photos that you need. It's not just a case of turning up on the day of the shoot and snap, there's your photos. If you've not done the pre-shoot planning and preparation, your photos may not meet your brief and may not do what you want them to do. So you've got the investment in time in the shoots, but also the investment and time in the preparation beforehand. And doing all that means that the investment of your money is well spent. But also it's a two-way thing, because the planning and the preparation side of things, that's where we build a relationship. That's where we sit down over a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and we'll talk as we're planning your shoot. So we actually get to know each other. We build that relationship. We build that connection. So then on the day of the shoot, you already know me, and you're not standing in front of a stranger's camera. You're standing in front of a friend's camera, and that instantly takes away some of that nerves and that shyness that we talked about earlier. So it's looking actually. Everything we talked about so far, it's looking at the big picture rather than each individual element. And when you put them together, you get the successful
magic.
Yeah, exactly that magic.
Lily, do you want to ask Ali a question?
Yes.
In regards to when you have your headshots done, how often would you advise someone to have new ones done, because people's imagery, people's, the whole of you change your hair, you change something about you. Like the pandemic is over now, and a lot of us have changed. Like I've changed my hair. What would you suggest? What advice would you give?
I think if you make any significant change, you should update your photography. And by significant, that's, let's say you lose a lot of weight, you change your hair completely, so you go from long hair to short hair, or perhaps you start or stop wearing glasses, etc., etc. So if you make a significant change, I think you should update it then, even if it's only 6 months since your last headshot. Because what your headshot is, it's your introduction to potential clients and potential colleagues. And so you want it to look like you are now, because they use it to identify you by. And let's say you've got your photo on LinkedIn, you arrange a meeting with someone who's a potential client, you turn up to that meeting and you don't look like your photo. What's that going to say to that potential client about how trustworthy you are and how honest you are, if you can't actually be honest about your own image? Going back, if you don't change your image at all, so let's say you look the same 5, 6, 7 years, if your image doesn't change, then there's no necessary reason to actually update your headshot unless you to. Does that?
Thank you.
Well, I still think that every 5 years or so.
I guess the other thing to consider is it's not just yourself. It's like fashions change and clothing changes, and that can sometimes date photos. So one of the things that I often advise people before a shoot is when they ask, what should I wear? I say to pick classic and timeless styles. That doesn't date your photo, because you could wear something that's high fashion right now, but in 6 months' time, it isn't. So go for something classic and timeless. That also prolongs the life of your photo.
Okay, so classic and timeless, and perhaps where your professional brand or your personal brand is aiming for in the future, rather than where you are now. Because when I'm coaching clients, I always say, dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have now. So it has to be aspirational. That would be my advice. And in terms of who you appeal to as well, if your target audience is a different kind of audience, look at the people that you want to work with in the future, and try and mix the two up. That's sort of thing that I would say. If I had a client that was coming to that I felt that needed headshots, I mean, there are times I've said, come on, what have you got on LinkedIn? Please. No, don't do that. And there's surprise that I can even dare to say, I'm there to make you shine, make you sparkle, your brand sparkle. And nobody's going to, like you said, trust somebody with their sunglasses on, or they've cropped something and somebody's photobombing them. They've just, you can still see the hand on the shoulder. It just doesn't give the impression that you've taken time to present yourself.
It kind of shows that you don't care about the details of your own business. So if you don't care about your own business, are you going to care about
someone else's
business?
Yeah, exactly. Hi Veronica, hello from Stockholm. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We're talking about photography. Do you have any questions for us, Veronica, so that we can put them to the two professionals here, Ally Whitlock, the photographer, and Sazz Wanogho-Maud, who works with women who works with women between 40 and 65 or 50 plus.
50 plus.
Yeah, 50 plus. So if you have any questions, pop them in. Then one of us, I guess, one of us will be able to answer that. Now, where are we in terms of time? Top tips to be preparing to be photographed. I think we've sort of almost covered that. But do you have like 1 or 2 tips for preparation? I mean, I can add 2, and then we can all go around and do 2. My 2 would be, remember why you're having that photo shoot done, and don't bring your whole wardrobe like I did. Oh my God. I brought my whole wardrobe and it was a nightmare to choose. So if you're having two different looks, maybe you can double it for tops and stuff like that. So those are my tips. Don't bring your whole wardrobe to the photo shoot. Otherwise, that means you haven't prepared, right?
But you see, having a good photographer, as Ally was on that day, even though you brought your whole wardrobe, Lily, my gosh. I mean, Ally just went, and that was it. We started.
So don't do like I did and take the whole wardrobe. Okay, that's my tip. Learning from my mistakes. Sazz, what do you think?
I think get a good night's sleep. You know, I think that's very, very important. And I would say just be yourself. Come prepared to just be yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. And Ally?
I would go with both what you both say, sort of like about your clothing, prepare your clothing in advance so that you know exactly what you're going to wear. Good night's sleep is key, drinking plenty of water. But I think my biggest tip is actually to relax and enjoy yourself, because it isn't scary being photographed. It is something fun. You're celebrating yourself. You're spending time on yourself. Actually, just relax and enjoy it, and put your trust in your photographer and trust that they will capture you.
Okay, well, those are the things that we wanted to talk to about. Also, to say that we have come together to put together an afternoon of networking with other ladies where we all sit around, we support each other, we talk about life, we talk about business, we talk about professions, and then we support each other on the photo shoot. So on this time, it's not just you being on the photo shoot by yourself or with your friend. It's about you being on the photo shoot with another 10 women. So if I like your earring and Ally doesn't think that the earring is working well, there might be another woman who might say, actually, if you look at what she's looking at, she's not too bad. So we have wisdom in the room. And so, Ally, when is this photo shoot going to be? When is it? I want you to tell us when it's going to be.
It is the 15th of September, Friday, the 15th of September.
Okay. And Sazz, what's the time?
The time that we need to get there for is 3.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, but 3 o'clock is when we're going to be having our nibbles, and that's when the fun's going to be started.
She's only there for the party.
You know me, Lily, I like the fun. As Annie's saying.
Sazz is only there for the party. She'll be in charge of the drinks and the nibbles anyway.
Ladies, be there sharp.
Just make sure you save me a glass for once I've done with all the photographing.
Oh yeah, that's true. You can't. Oh, okay. I'll save you 2 glasses on that day. I'll save you 2 glasses because you'll be working very hard on that day. Okay. Let's see again. In terms of the location, it will be. I can answer that one. Bromley Arts Centre.
It's the Ripley Arts Centre.
Ripley Arts Centre in Chislehurst, and it's going to be in the drawing room, and it has open in the gardens. You can get photographed in the drawing room, or you can go into the garden, right? Or you can have different looks.
It's a beautiful historical building. It's kind of like the pinnacle, the heartbeat of the arts in Bromley. To be honest with you, it's absolutely beautiful.
I think what's something that's just key to mention there is that, and this goes back to the very first thing that we talked about being shy and nervous in front of the camera. Yes, there are going to be 9, 10, 11 other women in the room, but your photo shoot is going to be a personalised and private shoot. You're not going to have 9 pairs of eyes watching your every move.
No.
That is often something that a lot of women are really worried about. They just don't like people watching them. So just saying that, we've got this beautiful venue, but there's enough space that when you have your photos taken, it will be just you, the camera, and me.
Yeah. And okay, it's all about the fizz, right? Can they have a glass of fizz before their photo?
They can.
Yeah, I don't see why not. As long as
it relax people a bit.
As long as you don't instantly get red cheeks or anything like that. But if you think a glass of fizz will just sort of like liven it up a little bit, yeah, by all means, have a glass of fizz. I'll tell you what, actually, one of the very first shoots that I did with a group of businesswomen, and this was about 6 months after I finished college, they turned up to the studio I was working in at the time with a bottle of champagne. And while they were doing their hair and their makeup, they drank this champagne. It was a brilliant shoot. They turned that whole thing into a party.
You should have told us that, Ally. You should never have told us that.
Oh my God. We've got somebody else joining us. Pat. Hi, Pat. How are you doing? Pat, where are you calling from? Is it Milton Keynes, I think? It's definitely on Facebook, but I think she's not a London girl. But hello, Pat, and thank you for joining us. Now, Ally, there are a couple of other questions that I wanted before we wrap up. How many photos do people get on the day, and how is that going to be dished out?
Okay, so what's going to happen is each person's going to have their individual shoot, which is going to be around about 20 minutes or so. And during that time, I'll take a range of different photos. We'll move around a bit. You can even like put jackets on, take jackets off, hats, scarves, accessories, so that you can get different looks and feels. Then with a week, 2 weeks later, each person will get their own private online gallery, proofing gallery, where you'll get probably about 20, 25 photos to look at and choose from. And then included in the package, you can download 2 photos that you can then use as you wish, LinkedIn, websites, to advertise, promote your business. And then there is also the option of purchasing additional images as you so wish. So 20 minutes, 2 photos.
Great. And do we get the option of also having them retouched as part of the package?
The two
wanted to know that question.
The two that you choose, yes, can be retouched. And to be honest, not many people need a lot of retouching, because that's the nice thing about professional photography, is that actually we work with things like light and make sure that you're in good poses, good positions, to reduce the amount of retouching that's needed. But yeah, things like a little bit smoothing your skin and removing blemishes, absolutely.
Great. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of your socials, Sazz, can we start with that? Where can people find you? Email address, social, website, anything like that?
On Facebook at Second Spring, on Instagram at Second Spring Coach.
Second Spring Coach. Okay.
And they can find me on LinkedIn, Sazz Wanogho-Maud.
Thank you very much. We'll put all of that in the chat once we've come off air. I'll do that tonight or tomorrow morning. And Ally, how can we find you? Where do you hang out on your socials?
To be honest, I mainly hang out on LinkedIn. So you can find me on LinkedIn as Ally Whitlock. I am on Instagram and Facebook, but I have to say that I don't hang out there very often. And you can find me Ally_Whitlock_photography, or there's also my website, which is just allywhitlock.com. But if you want to chat to me, LinkedIn's probably the best place to go.
Okay. Thank you very much, both. And you're giving some giveaways as well, aren't you? So should we start with Sazz?
Yes, I'll be giving away a Second Spring mug. I should have really had it on display, but you know what, Lily? Time ran away with me. But it's a beautiful mug. You know my Second Spring mug, so I will be giving that away.
Great. I shall look forward to getting the information through. And Ally, what's the giveaway? And then I have to ask a question.
Okay. Anyone who books onto the photography and networking afternoon as a result of this LinkedIn Live, you get 2 extra digital photos included in your package. So rather than 2, you'll get 4 photos.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Ally. And for me, I'll give that means there'll be 3 lucky winners a copy of my playbook that shows you how to edit your personal brand on a tablet. So that's my latest body of work, and it's still around working your quirks. So that's us at 3, and we are just about to wrap up. So thank you. If you have any questions, either drop us a line on any of the channels, Facebook or LinkedIn, and we'll try and answer them. And we'll put everybody's links in there as well, and also the link to the photo shoot that we're organizing in just over a month's time.
A month tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 15th.
So Friday the 15th of September, all roads lead to Ripley Art Centre for some fun, for some fizz, and for some photography. Photography. I love that. I think we're just going to coin that. Just going to coin that. So thank you very much for joining me on the Magic Sofa. I haven't done Tea with Lily for ages. Thanks for coming, Ali. It wasn't too bad, was it?
It wasn't. No, it wasn't at all. I really enjoyed it.
It reminds me of the last time we were working together when I was hosting an event. And at lunchtime, we had something. We had a lull time and I had to fill 45 minutes. And Ali was taking the photographs and I pulled her onto the stage and she had 1 minute to introduce what she did, and you could tell the look I got was like, ooh. But in the end, she loved it. So you see, I'm not horrible. I'm just there to help everybody. So Lily does that. And so thank you guys. And again, I'm really looking forward to working with you next month and many, many more months after that. But if there's anything else that you want me to talk about on Tea with Lily, please let me know. And I'm really, really grateful, Sazz, for your time. I'm grateful to you, Ali, for coming on and showing us how it's all done. And I'm sure you'll be able to do a lot more. But everybody else, until next time, look after yourself. Enjoy the World Cup. Be kind to each other, especially the young ladies out there. And may everything that you wish for be the least that you receive. Take care now and God bless.
God bless.
Yeah, bye.